If you're looking for a feature-packed SUV, definitely take a look at this. Hello, my name is Jimmy, and welcome to the 2024 Kia Sorento. This is the Canadian spec X Line Limited. Starting at $53,757, it features a 2.5-liter turbocharged engine with 281 horsepower. Sharing a base with the Santa Fe, it has a different structure in its lineup, where the Santa Fe has the XRT or the off-roady model kind of in the middle of the trim. Kia has that on the upper end of the trim, the X Pro. And with that, you can tow a little bit more, and it does have the all-terrain tires. And you also get Alcantara headliner, a digital rear view mirror, and a few other things as well. But this Sorento is actually quite nice. I do like this updated front end here. The amber LED daytime running lamps, they look great. You got fog lamps down below. It's a, well, kind of macho kind of front end. And the rear end has been redesigned a little bit as well, where the taillights are different, rear bumper. I mean, it's a very nice looking vehicle. I don't think the previous generation was ever bad looking, but this update, well, it just really rounds out the brand, and it makes it a lot closer to, well, what other Kia vehicles kind of look like. The new K5, as well as the Carnival, has a very similar shaped front end. As this is the on-road version, we do get 20-inch wheels. They're a little odd looking because of the squared off design. We've seen that in the EV9. Personally, I'm not a big fan of it, but you can let me know how you feel about it in the comment section down below. We do get proximity door locks on the front doors, but sadly not on the rear. Opening the trunk, we get 13 cubic feet of space behind the third row. Of course, we can manually fold down that third row, and we can actually electronically fold down the second row as well. It's actually quite a large space interior-wise, so you can definitely throw, all your camping gear or whatever you need inside. Getting access to the third row is not difficult. With a touch of the button, the seat slides forward and you're able to get into the third row itself. Headroom really isn't a problem, but because of the seat itself, it's actually a little bit lower. You don't have as much leg room, and your knees are, well, up to your chest a little bit and may not be the most comfortable. Moving up a row, headroom, legroom, not a problem here. The panoramic sunroof lets in plenty of light, and you can move the seat fore and aft and even adjust the backrest as you need. The seats are heated, which is definitely a nice touch. And because this is an upper end trim, you do get the blinds on the side. If you're thinking about carrying kiddos in here, well, I am a child passenger safety technician, and I wanted to show you exactly how child seats fit within the Sorento itself. On the driver's side here, this is a collect-lane infant seat. No worries. There's tons of room getting an infant carrier in here. The lower anchors might be a little bit difficult to find, but once installed, you should be okay with that. On the passenger side, this is a collect-fin rear facing. Even with a bulky rear facing seat like this, there's still plenty of space in front, so the passenger can definitely sit here with no issues. In terms of the third row, I wasn't able to put a rear facing seat. There just wasn't enough room, but you do get lower anchors, so you can put like this Collect Uber, which is a high back booster, and have it clicked in to the seat itself. As for the front seats here, these are plenty comfortable. They're heated, cooled with a 4-way lumbar support and adjustable thigh support as well. Something that's not commonly found in this class, so I do appreciate that. Leather steering wheel that is heated, and you got all your typical Kia buttons, and behind that, a full digital cluster. This updated cluster features 2 different layouts and 3 different themes, so you can kind of customize it to what you would like. I do like the more simplistic digital cluster, so that way you're able to see the speed clearly. As there's no heads-up display, it just makes it a little bit easier. To the right, it is your updated infotainment, 12.3 inches of fabulous display here. You do get wireless CarPlay now, so that's nice. The interface works pretty well. Really no issues with the overall software, which is great. And I love how it's kind of curved towards the driver, so it's just easier for me to view everything that I need. What might not be as easy is the climate control, because the climate control is split with the radio controls. So depending on, well, the button you press down here, it can flip back and forth, and it's just a little cumbersome because you can be driving down the road and for whatever reason, when you're trying to look for an address, you have to turn down the volume. If it's on climate control, you're turning down the climate, and then suddenly you're all cold. So you You don't think of that for now, but you want to turn down the volume. So you click the button to turn down the volume, and then you got to click back. It's just a lot of clicking around, which personally, I'm just not that big of a fan of. But the overall interior is actually very nice. The touch points, the wood, I mean, it has that premium feeling to it, even though it is, well, not premium priced. And that's definitely something that Kia is just excelling at. They give you a lot for, well, what you're paying for. And underneath the hood, they give you a strong power plant as well. This is powered by a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. There is a base 2.5-liter non-turbocharged giving 191 horsepower, but this turbocharged unit gives you 281 horses with 311 pound-feet of torque. Mated to that is an 8-speed dual clutch and all-wheel drive. The 8-speed dual clutch, there is a small problem with it, let's say. If you're in like day-to-day traffic and it's stop and go a lot, what you're going to feel is, well, you're going to feel the engine kind of revving up and letting that clutch go, because it is what that's doing. But what's going on is when you're coming to a stop and then you're getting going again, it just has that little bit of a struggle to kind of get up and running. And the delay is quite long. Of course, the auto start stop doesn't help. But what I just can't get over is if you come to a complete stop, even if the auto start stop doesn't engage, the engine's on right now, I can fully press that throttle and I won't move anywhere. So like if I give it a quick jab, nothing happens. Obviously, day to day, you'll never drive like that, right? So that's really not going to be an issue. But what it's kind of demonstrating is, well, the part that the throttle is kind of like all attached to and all the software behind it, it just makes for kind of a duller driving experience, especially at that pace. But once you get up and going, it's absolutely fine. And even if I put it in smart driving mode, it doesn't really get any better. And the same thing goes in sport. So in sport right now, stopped, just nothing. So that is the fundamental flaw with dual clutches. And it's not just the Sorento. There's other vehicles that have similar issues. But if you're not in start-stop traffic, you're not really going to run into that issue. And once you're up and running, the shifts are nice. They're smooth. The ride is nice. It's comfortable. There's really no issues once you get up and going. And it has all the highway driving assist that works really well. The lane departure and the lane centering, all of that works great. And with many Hyundai, Kia products, well, I just love how it uses a 360 camera to be able to see who's in your blind spot. It's a feature that I really enjoy, because sometimes, like, you know how you sleep on the wrong angle when your neck hurts and you just can't shoulder check? That's a great feature to have just to keep you nice and safe. I mean, overall, this is a great vehicle. It is. And there's just a few minor things that keep it from being great. One is that dual clutch, and the second is the climate control. The climate control, personally, I think it's okay. It just kind of depends on how you end up driving the vehicle and how you end up kind of controlling it, because you do have the control on your steering wheel. So you can use that. It's just sometimes, naturally, you go into the physical controls here, and that's just a little annoying. And if your commute doesn't include, well, traffic jams all day, you're really not going to have any issues with that transmission. So you're going to have actually a pretty pleasant time. And for the price that it is, it's actually a little bit lower than that of, well, the Santa Fe and most of its competitors. And you're getting a lot of features here. You really are. And that's the best thing about, well, most Kia products. And I must say, I do like the Sorento, and I'm excited for the 2025 model where, well, you can get the hybrid and plug-in hybrid with this entire kind of update to the vehicle itself. I'm excited to see more of what's coming up next. In any case, thank you so much for watching this video and coming for a ride with me. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Take care.